Kyle, how are you?
Kent, excellent. Great to see you.
Good to see you as well, my friend. We're here. We're on our new background. It's season three.
It's season three. I cannot believe it. What is that? That's like show almost show 20, I think.
I lost count.
Yeah.
So, what are we going to do today?
Well, as we're kicking off our season three, today is just a really quick headline and insight into what it is that we're going to be focusing on over the next 8 big shows that we have for our season three. So, first of all, welcome to Digitized. Unlock your digital potential. We're here. We believe that everybody has a digital version inside of themselves, whether it's that you individually, whether that's your business, that is waiting to be expressed. And myself and Kent are here to help you bring insights and thoughts and tools and methodologies for you to effectively unlock that digital potential. This is season three. This is super exciting. And just a couple quick headlines, and I'll hand it back over to Kent here. Is a couple quick headlines is that this show, compressed times, super impact shows, around 20 to 25-minute formats for you guys. We are starting to bring in and click down even deeper into real case studies, real examples of what's happening in real time in digitization. For the first couple seasons, we were focusing on the broad sort of conceptual side of things, what is happening, what it means, what digitization means, what the opportunity is for you. Now that we're months and months into this, we have met some extraordinary people. So we're going to be bringing some really great guests, and we're going to be bringing some really great insights. What else is in store for them, Kent?
Well, we're broadcasting in 1080p. That's new.
Amazing.
Historically, we were doing a 720p broadcast. I know that doesn't sound like a big deal to a lot of people, but it is. It is actually a very substantial upgrade to the stream. It's a step on my way to 4K for us, Kyle.
Mhm.
So you know that I've been working on that here in the studio. The other thing
Absolutely.
that I think we'll talk about a little bit more this season when we find some spots to do it is a little bit more of the how we actually do this. I am looking forward now, and I think I've gotten the setup in such a way that we can even start to share some of the hows and whys and what we do to produce the show itself. I know a
Mhm.
lot of people have those questions, and so it's not an easy thing, but it is something that we can start to share a little bit about anyway, and then possibly we should produce some how-to videos as add-ons, not for the live part per se, but things that people can take a look at in the channel, like the how-to videos.
Mhm.
Another thing that I'm particularly excited about is, as you said, bringing on guests, because what we've been doing is, I think, let me think. Since April, we ran, not counting the live shows for Digitized Live, although it's a show a week, we've run over 20 of those. We've run six events for a major large customer who's, I don't quite have the permission yet to say the name. And we've also run four really significant events, pushing over 6,000 attendees through four different events for EXO World. And I'm looking forward to sharing more. And especially bringing on one of our teammates, Lena, to talk about how that's been. Because it certainly comes with its trials and tribulations when you start to
Mhm.
scale up a production, even like what we're doing here with Digitized Live.
Mhm.
So as we go into this format, and we've got these really kind of hard-hitting, amazing guests, and in an interview, kind of a three-up format with the two of us and a guest, almost like a panel. And then we've got tools and tips and a real-world experience from what it's like to digitalize or to digitize things like events or board meetings or small events, right? So, I mean, I'm really looking forward to sharing a lot of what
Mhm.
we've learned over the last 6 months.
Yeah, and building on that as well, from the event side of things, what's been interesting is that we are going to be sharing with you the spectrum of different types of things that people are doing with the digitization. So, from the large events that Kent has been talking about that being produced to series of events, all the way through to more internal things like structures of master classes, webinar series, or strategic workshops for anybody that is running multi-length programs, but anything that you were doing that was in person and you're looking for those tools, techniques, methodologies, We'll be continuing to share some real practical tips and some real breakthroughs, and we'll be bringing in some guests that have either experienced our work or that we are collaborating with, that are actually applying all of this in real time. So as always with this show, there's two sides of this, which is really great, which is that there's the show which is entertaining with the thoughts and ideas and conversations. And at the same time, what's a little different about this one, and we're going to go deeper into it, is also constantly pulling back the curtain. So although we're producing in real time, we're also sharing what is happening in real time behind the scenes, which is a little bit of like, that actor studio sort of behind the curtain or behind the thing, like what is happening behind the digitization. So we hope that you will stick with us all the way through season 3, as you have been. Our subscriber group is growing. The videos are getting more play. We're getting more inbound in terms of people saying they're connecting and trying and interacting. And so that'll be another thing that we're looking to strive to do in season 3, is continue to increase our interactivity with all of you, with your answering your questions, with really hitting on the tool tips and things that are going to help you excel in your business. So we are incredibly excited for season 3 and for this continue to unlock your digital potential.
Kyle, you wanted to, I remember you asking me if we could talk a little bit about one of the processes we've been exploring with
Yes.
other companies. Do you want to talk about that for a second before we sort of close out for the day? This will be a very quick episode, everybody. We're just super excited
Yeah.
to get season 3 off. There will be 7 more episodes for season 3 coming up. Those we're going to pre-schedule those as much as we can, so you'll be able to go onto YouTube and see them all lined up there, and have what guests are coming up and things like that. So look forward to that as well. And Kyle, if you want to take us out, maybe talking a little bit about what we've got going on with this, I think it's been really interesting for setting the stage for conversations.
Absolutely. So one of our key processes and approaches that we've been helping our clients and our partners, and how we've been coaching and mentoring other groups. Shout out to all those amazing people that have been interacting with our Digitized group. So the 4 really big areas in terms of phasing and processing that we are going to go deep with, and how we ask our esteemed guests about how they're approaching their digitization, but also the formatting in which we want to share with you around the critical steps that is necessary, that we've now learned through trial and error over the last several months, about what it needs to take and the phasing that we recommend that you take in order to really achieve the impact that you want with your digitization of your company. So those 4 particular areas is the one big thing is, when we start this journey and you're starting this journey, it's so critical to have a vision in mind. What is the future state that you're trying to achieve? Why is the digitization important for you and your business? What would an ideal outcome look like? What would that final state look like? What is the vision for what you're trying to achieve and the impact? Like, just here's a quick example. Just yesterday, speaking with a client, they had been focusing on live in-person events, and they were thinking about their usual metrics of audience impact, but they were thinking about how many people they could get in seats in a live event. When we started to go through the visioning process with them to think about the future, they realized that if they just digitized and put their programming out there, or put their event out there, they realized that they could start reaching tens of thousands of people versus just the thousands that they had before. That vision started getting them shaping and thinking differently about the content they would create. Just one simple example. But the visioning phase is important. Then the mapping is, what are the gaps between where you are and where you need to be? The tools, the techniques, the trainings, the methodologies. This is a deep expertise for Kent and myself to help mentor, guide, facilitate, advise, and Lena too, and our Digitized group team, is how to help you map to get to that state. Then when you've got to that, we got to take action. That's the implementation piece. What are the learnings that people have done through not just the mapping, but through the implementation? Was it easy? Was it hard? What were the challenges? How do they overcome them? So that you can continue to deliver those premier event experiences, or these online experiences that you're trying to create. And then the 4th one is, what do you do after that event is done? The downstreams, the momentums, the follow-ons, the audience connectivity that you've generated and created. Because a lot of people went into digitization and have been going into digitization in a single event mindset. Impact is a lasting scale. It's a long downstream scale. So these 4 areas are what we're going to be focusing on here deeply in season 3, connecting with our audiences, connecting with our speakers. Kent, as being a master in terms of a lot of these areas, Lena, myself, we want to bring you insights across these 4 categorical areas. Anything to add there, Kent?
You gave a great example on that vision one, and to close, I just while you were talking, I thought of an example of the stage 4, right? This is what do you do
Mm-hmm.
after, and a
Mm-hmm.
number of, you know, we've had a lot of luck with this, and it's a longer conversation maybe, but we've been doing these things for our events called replays, and the replays are digital products. They're actual, real. Here, let me show you. They're real digital products. This is an example of one for a customer, which is EXO World in this case, and you can come here, sign up, and get access to the replay of all the live events. Now, we actually, this particular organization sells this as a follow-on product to the live event, but not because just standalone it would be enough. But what about if you run series of events, event after event after event? Well, what we're doing with this particular product is we're taking all of the events and all the speakers. So you might miss one of the events, but then if you have access to the replay, so it's literally like pay-per-view television
Mm-hmm.
is what's happening here. And you can even see, I think I've got a little reel. There'll be no audio for this, but I can show you what's going on here. So what am I talking about? For this particular instance, there were 4 big events, over 6,000 people, something like 1,000 hours of content has been generated, and it is extremely valuable content. Why should that only live for a second, relatively speaking, on a live stream? Why not? Why not get this so that it can be viewed again and again and studied? And then and this would be a whole fun thing to talk about, Kyle. We're using a
Mm-hmm.
series of tools to do AI transcripts, in video searching, make it basically an online learning. So this is how you can focus in that 4th stage that you were talking about, to really drive. Let me see, do I even have that anymore? No, I don't. So to really drive, look at me showing everything there. In this 4th stage, to build that momentum and keep it going, you can drive huge interactivity down the line. So
Mm-hmm.
it's really incredible what's possible. Sorry for all the screen switching there. That was an unscheduled demo, so that often gets a little funny. But yeah, it's really exciting what's possible, and these things are only possible in a lot of ways because of the digital formats. Now,
Mm-hmm.
you lose a lot of times is interactivity when you go to something just like a digital replay, but you gain so much in terms of being able to study it, to learn from it, to use it to improve yourself and your business down the line.
It's excellent, Ken. One other just quick thing that got me thinking about was something that we've been doing on the season 1, 2, and that we'll continue to do in season 3. I was just thinking about the types of challenges that are entering into our world now to help people produce. So what's interesting too is that if you think about phase 1, the visioning, they're getting excited about what is possible. Some clients are starting to imagine very boldly about the kind of impact and events and experiences they want to run. And some are even thinking about things where technology hasn't even caught up to being able to achieve that yet, which is fascinating because what we're trying to do in real time, and I'm sure, 8 weeks from now or 10 weeks from now, we may have cracked the code or somebody may have invented something or created something. So we're going to keep you in real time also about some of those challenges that are coming into our inboxes. Like one event, somebody said they want to be able to bring 100,000 people to one particular event and have everybody break out and create these really interesting interactivity connection points for a global audience. Now, there's some limitations to those things, but what is also interesting for us, and especially Kent, who's the master here when it comes to finding those new, unique, beta technologies that are out there and who's finger on the pulse of what's happening. What we're being able to do is track and find interesting things with our Digitized group team is to bring our thought processes. We meet every week thinking about how do we actually solve for this? How do we actually create that experience? Let's go test the learns, go break things. So we'll be bringing some of that knowledge to you too. So for anybody that's out there that's watching, and you have a big idea in your mind that you would like to create some form of impact, you want to do it through you're starting to understand the power of the digitization, send that over to us, because what we'd like to also do is problem solve that, almost like Khan's Academy. What's the math equation that we've got to try to figure out here? But we'll try to figure it out and then lead you to the right types of decisions too. So very, very excited for season 3. Any other connections there, Ken?
Not for today. Really, just looking forward to getting into the next 7 episodes and bringing hopefully a huge amount of value to the audience. So if you want to be reminded when the scheduled shows are coming up, you have to click the like button and the little bell, which will give you the notifications. It's not particularly obtrusive, and it will remind you that this is going to happen, because as I said, we're going to pre-schedule everything. So give us a like, give us a subscribe. If any of your friends or colleagues you think would benefit from learning how to digitize their business, digitize their lives, tell them about the channel. I mean, nothing else helps us more. And post comments, ask questions. I don't think I've ever not answered a single question that was legitimate, one way or another. And in some cases, I've even produced whole videos to explain how to do that. You'll see that if you go and read through the comments where people have gotten stuck. So I don't know if I can promise to be tech support for everybody all the time, but we do try, and it adds a lot of value to the interactions with everyone out there. So thank you all so much for that, and please keep it up. We appreciate the challenge.
Awesome. Well, with that, thank you so much for tuning in to our kickoff for season 3. We're so excited for what's coming and have an incredible week ahead. And remember, every one of you have got a digital version of you inside of yourself looking to be fully expressed and unlock that digital potential. So tune in again next week, in the next couple of weeks, to watch some really powerful shows to help empower you to get the breakthroughs that you need.
All right. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.